channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how to install a 2007 to 2021 Toyota Tundra lift kit, leveling kit from Rough Country. So I got one from Rough Country, pretty reasonable, just around the $200 mark, so very, very affordable, cost effective. The 2007 to 2021 Toyota Tundra has a very low front end and a raised back end, just in case you want to put extra load in there. It makes it more of a level ride. Let's say you get a bunch of gravel, it'll lower the rear end, then it's a level drive. But when you don't have anything in the bed, it lifts it up, it looks goofy. We're gonna fix that today. So we're gonna be putting a 3-inch front lift and then a 2-inch rear on the release springs with brackets, or with little blocks and little brackets for that. So I'm gonna show you what comes in the kit. I'm gonna show you guys how to install it. And we're just gonna jump right into it. So my 2007 Tundra, I'm currently gonna be doing an exhaust system and an intake system, but today let's focus only on the lift because I want you guys to jump right in this, make it an efficient video for you guys so that you can just jump on how to do this. This is gonna be for the rear right here. We're not gonna do that yet. We'll do that second. These are gonna be for the rear. This is gonna be for the front right here. This is gonna be for the front. In addition, this will also be for the front, and then these this kit right here will also be for the front. So let's go ahead and jump out to the truck, and I'm gonna show you immediately. This is all what comes in the kit. It's about $200, like I said. I like it. It's all powder coated black and gloss black. It's very nice. All the parts are, except for the nuts, which is fine, but the rest of it looks very aesthetic. Let's go out to my 2007 Toyota Tundra. Here is my beautiful 2007 Toyota Tundra V8, of course, very, very nice. We're gonna put this up on jack stands. Let's get this on jack stands real quick and pull off that wheel. Okay, once you get the Tundra on a jack stand, you're gonna take off your wheel. Pretty easy. So once you have your wheel off, you guys can see right here, you want to lubricate the things that you're going to remove. So I would lubricate right here, and then up at the top, right here where this is all going to, here, let me grab you guys and show you real detailed. So come into your Tundra, lubricate here, because you're going to be removing these. WD-40 will work great. This is what you're going to be taking out right here, this guy. So you want to come down here, lubricate this, lubricate the sway bar right here inside there, because you're going to want to moving that. Lubricate here, and that should probably be good. I think there's 2 bolts underneath here that you're going to want to lubricate as well. Everything that you're going to move, and I'll show you here, hit it some WD-40 or PB Blaster to loosen it all up. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is remove 3 14 millimeters at the top of the strut / shock. So we're going to do that first. We're going to do lefty-loosey on those 3 up there. Very important, before you actually do that, take a 10 millimeter and do lefty-loosey on this wire right here. Okay, so break that loose and we'll move that. Everyone I saw doing this was using a close-ended wrench, 14 millimeters. So 10 millimeter, 14 millimeter, bolt by bolt. This is Mitch Dore. I'll always do bolt by bolt. 14 millimeter deep socket seems to work, so use that. I mean, you can break it loose with this, but that's an easier way to get it off right there. Okay, so once you have all 4 of the 14 millimeters off, 14, and the 10 millimeter, we're gonna move down to the lower part. Okay, so I think this is a 19, it is. So we're gonna do a 19 to unhook the sway bar. What sway bar does is it holds it up, so it's holding this assembly up. It also does exactly what it does, reduces sway. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this with a 19 millimeter. Let's try it with my new impact that I got for really affordable. I think it's $110. This is gonna be loud, so plug your ears. Yeah, no go on that one. So we're gonna have to use the breaker bar. Okay, 1922. That one actually has a nut built into the control arm, kind of cool. And then these are 22s underneath here. To get the 22s broken loose, cheater setup. So breaker bar and then an extension with the pipe, and then I can break them loose. Okay, so once you have the 22s out down here, you'll take your jack, you'll put it on the control arm, lift it up, give love to the sway bar. And I think someone, other video I watched, they said just take out the sway bar bolts first. I agree. Just take your sway bars out right away. That's the first thing I should have done. Now once this is out, I should be able to lower this back down and then buzz off this, the lower strut shock mount, and it should come out once we lower this down because the hub is not connected to the control arm anymore, or the wheel hub. Okay, I'm currently ready to remove the strut, but I need a 24 millimeter socket, and I don't own one. So I'm gonna go to the store and get a 24 millimeter, and then we can just loosen the lower control arms, which should allow the lower control arm to swing down, therefore allowing the strut to come out, and then we can add the spacers. Just like that, you got the OEM strut out. I would probably recommend buying a new one. I don't know, depending on how many miles your car has. This says Toyota. This is obviously the original one. This truck has 120,000 miles on it. I think 119 or something like that. I maybe would have bought another one, but oh well, we're just doing the lift kit. So we're gonna go inside now and we're gonna reassemble this sucker. So let's bring it inside. Make sure that you have a 24 millimeter socket, otherwise you won't be able to loosen those up, and the lower control, is that a lower control arm or whatever it is, the lower part of the hub won't drop down below. The directions from Rough Country are okay, they're pretty good. So we're gonna go outside. I'm gonna use my original hardware, so the ones that from the Tundra. Now it's a really big deal. This is not symmetrical. Look, flat, not flat, it's bezeled, has a dip in it, has a dip in it, has a dip in it, does not have a dip. The one that does not have a dip must face the engine, the frame, the middle of the car. So like that, and then the dip, dip, dip. Have to do this, otherwise it won't work. So make sure you do that. So I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna go get that little hardware, we're gonna tighten it in down here, and then we're gonna go back out to the truck. Okay, so wrench down the OEM hardware onto the OEM strut. Again, I wish I would replace these. I put the spacer shims in because I want the full max lift. So there's 2 spacer shims in there and I wanted them both. So we're gonna get the full lift. Let's go back out to the truck. Look at these. So the next one, we're gonna install these, I believe, with these 1 inch spacers. Again, I think with these. So let's go back out of the truck. This is going to be the drive the actual shaft so it has a proper angle. So let's go remove the OEM ones, use the extended, and throw the spacers on. Okay, so this is the drive shaft mount or whatever this is, and you need to extend it by 1 inch is what's the hardware they gave you. So you're going to use a 19 millimeter to break it loose on both sides, and then there's a nut on top. Okay, I had to go to the parts store again. This is the bump stop. This is definitely going to get a higher star job. This isn't as easy as you guys might think. A lot of people on YouTube said, hey, you know, it's really easy. It's very time cumbersome, and you need a lot of different parts. I had to go buy a wrench, a pipe wrench, to remove the bump stop, which is located right there. Lefty loosey with the pipe wrench. Then I was able to get the spacer provided by Rough Country, tighten that back on. And I've got a little bit of blood here. And we're gonna go ahead and put this back on with the pipe wrench on. Okay, it got dark out and a little rainy. You're 1000% need an alignment after this. So I had to remove these little splash guards here. As you guys can see, there's the top, I don't know what these are called. What are those, U or whatever, the upper mount. You have to loosen that 22 millimeter right back there. Right there, 22 millimeter. It'll allow the longer control arm to drop back down, and then you can retighten your 19 millimeter. You do have to do this because the larger size of the spacer will not allow this to reconnect itself. So I don't know if they put that in the instructions or not, but make sure you do this. It's very difficult to get these off, but hey, if you got a nice little impact gun like that, it will do it. So I buzz that off. It should now allow me to retighten this back up and then retighten the entire lower control arms and the upper control arms, and then I will rebutton everything. I believe I have it all in. I will need to show you guys the splash guard, and I'll show you how to do that. The what is that called? The splash guard, the shield, the lower shield. All right, we've completed one side. It is jacked up. It is huge. We'll be right back tomorrow with a day on the other side. So we'll be right back tomorrow. Bam. Okay, we've officially gotten this one done. It is huge. Look how big that lift is. And then you can come back over to this side of the Tundra, and this thing looks like it's actually lowered. That is an insane difference. So we're gonna prop up this one, do this one today. this video, it is the next day. It's taking a lot of time. It's taking about 6 hours to do this. I'm not a professional mechanic. I don't get paid to do it. So that being said, I think on the kit it says about 4.5 hours. I just didn't have all the right tools. Had to run to the store 2 times, which takes more time. So that being said, we're just going to do the front one, and then next video we'll do the rear one. So let's buzz off this front wheel, or put the car on this side of the truck on jacks. Buzz off this front wheel, take off the strut, install it, and re-put it back together and finish this project. All right, again, wheel off, WD-40 everything, pretty much all but no nuts and bolts, WD-40, or use some kind of lubricant. Now we're gonna go up to the 14 millimeters up here and loosen those. All right, struts out. So 14, 14, 14. Do the 12 that's on the ball joint arm. Do the 10 that's on the top right here for the wire. Allow the brake line loose. Then you're gonna do the 22 millimeters underneath here. Once those are out, you're gonna do the sway bar. It's a 19 millimeter. And then you're gonna come back underneath here, and you're gonna pop out the lower 19 millimeter that's, or excuse me, 22 millimeter that's connected to the bottom of the strut. Then you're gonna come back there and you need a 24 millimeter, loosen up both of the lower control arms so that it lowers down. I could not get it off, so I ended up actually doing the 22 millimeter on this side, or 24 millimeter on this side, and that allowed it to come loose, not on the nut side. Kind of weird, I don't know why. The nut side worked on the rear one. The front one, I needed to do the front side. So that's undone. The coil will come out, and then we brought it inside. So this is day 2. Remember, this is taking me a while, so it is a how-to, but it just takes a little bit more time. Make sure you have all the tools. Now we're gonna come back here and we're gonna reassemble using this mount with the spacers. I did use both spacers right here, as you guys can see. So I used both spacers. Again, make sure that the flat side goes towards the engine. That's a big deal. We'll put that on with the OEM 14 millimeters. These OEM ones right here, 14. And then we'll come on top right here with the aftermarket and the washers. And I think those are 9/16. I wish they would just use metric. I don't know why they don't. And then we should reinstall this. Okay, we are finally finished. So let's remember, tighten all your 9/16, I think is what up here. Tighten all your 14 millimeters here. Make sure you do that. Retighten the 10, retighten the 12. Install the spacer that comes with it, real easy, with the bump stop on both sides. You have to use a large pipe wrench. Sorry guys. A large pipe wrench right here to go around this lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's annoying, but you gotta do it. 2 bump stops installed with the spacers. Tighten the 24 millimeters on each side, 24, 24. Retighten the 19 millimeter sway bar right there. Retighten the 22 millimeter lower strut. Retighten the 22 millimeters down below. And then we're gonna put the wheel back on, and then we're gonna work on the spacer kit down here because I was unsuccessful as doing that so far. We're almost done. This is a very hard project. I'm gonna give this probably a 3 or 4 stars. Okay, this is properly installed right here. Those are the spacers that you need to do for the drivetrain, pain, and the you know what. So down on top is gonna be a 22 millimeter. It's hidden up there. There's a bolt up there, very hard to get. Down below is gonna be a 21 millimeter. The way that I did it is just slightly thread it with my fingers on top, and then come back down here with the impact and buzz it on, tighten it, did it on both sides. Use the jack to raise and lower the drivetrain, and it'll make your life easier. We are officially done with all this now. You can obviously see I need alignment crazy. The wheels are all over the place. I'm not gonna drive very much, but I will get an alignment ASAP. So this is pretty much how you do this. Now we got one more step to do, a few more bolts, and it's going to be the what's it called, the tray, the undercarriage tray. Usually I say just like that we finished. This is not just like that. This is a lot of work. So total about 9 hours. So a long time to do the whole thing. I do 2 parts, store parts, run parts store runs, I guess you'd say. And that took about 2 hours. So in total, I'd say like 7 hours, 7.5. I think a lot of people say like 4.5 to 5.5. For me, it was like 7.5 hours. A lot of work. The alignment is hilariously off, so I need to get an alignment. You can actually see it's so funny. So I will be getting alignment like today or tomorrow. I won't be driving it at all. Just the only driving I'll be doing is straight to getting alignment. But overall, I think it looks really, really good. We haven't done the rear yet. I was going to do the rear on this video, but it's so much work, so I'll do another one on there. I hope this is a really thorough how-to and you guys understand. Please comment down below if you have questions. I'll walk you through it. It is difficult. It is a lot of work. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not like taking off a turbo manifold or taking off a headers or anything where you're gonna really bust up your knuckles. But it was pretty, you know, I got a couple cuts and a little bit of blood, but blood, sweat, and tears, right? Overall, I think the product is absolutely amazing. The Tundra inherently looks really goofy because the front of it, even when I bought the car, everyone's like, is your truck lowered? And I was like, no, it's not lowered, it's factory. So I guess they call it rake, and the rake on it is pretty goofy. That being said, I am gonna put the leaves in the back again to give it a little bit more of that leveling kit. But right now it actually looks very, very aesthetic. Almost perfect actually. So I don't really have to do the rear, but I'm going to do them because I bought them. So I'll be doing that on next video, how to get the lift on the rear of the truck. But yeah, more Tundra, amazing. This truck is starting to look awesome. It's in black, so of course it needs a wash, but dang, this is a sick truck. Nice little toy hauler. I'm really enjoying it. I really like that I got the steps now, because that makes a big difference. If you didn't have the steps, it'd be a lot more difficult. So much better look. And I'm excited to get the alignment for a little bit better handling. And I think I will end up doing TRD sway bars front and rear because it's not a sports car, and I want it to handle a little bit more like a sports truck. It has a lot of body roll, so I think the sway bars will help. And of course, alignment. Make sure to like, subscribe, swing by MrRay.com. See you guys on the next video when we raise the rear of this car. Before we run off, check out those tail lights. Oh my gosh, those are so awesome. And of course, Alpha Rex headlights, worth every penny. So awesome. All right guys, see you in the next video.